This makes 2 in a row for the Redskins. Wow. 27-21 over Carolina. Last week, we were all happy and just giddy, for lack of better words, over the win over Tampa Bay. This one, opening drive aside for Carolina, this was a sound performance. They kept Taylor within Taylor ranges, but he was efficient with what he did and looked good. He got popped a couple of times and bent backwards a couple of times and got right back up. We all saw a video of him on Tressway's podcast as well, learn more about him. That was great information. But number 2 defense in the NFL, and they put 27 on them and one on the road, and it was 2 sound fourth down plays that were maybe the difference maker in the games. So 2-game winning streak, on the road victory. Phil, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that it's all my hat. That's it. It's 100% the hat. I've been wearing the hat. They've been winning. There you go. It's the hat.
All right. So, Devin, I know you're drinking more Kool-Aid than both Phil and I combined. So, let you share your thoughts.
I just personally like how Scott Turner's sticking with the run. If it's not working, he still goes with the run, and that sets up the whole offense. That's been my biggest takeaway. He's been sticking with the run, and it's been helping a lot. Defense, they've been sending more blitzes, and they look like the defense from last year, honestly.
And Heinicke, I said this a couple months ago, he wasn't the wild and crazy Heinicke that scrambles around and then makes these unbelievable throws. These receivers were kind of, in NFL terms, wide open. So either the play calling and scripting of the play was perfect, or he's seeing something that the defense wasn't. I don't know, but Heinicke had a real good game, getting himself 3 touchdowns, maybe 6 incompletions, and just a real efficient takeaway. And O-line did their job. He got, hammered once or twice on a sack. But other than that, the offense, hey, they put together 5 scoring drives. I'll take it. Phil.
Look, we played well. The past 2 weeks, we have played well. But what I'm seeing with Scott Turner, piggyback on it, he stayed with the run, which is a strength of ours. A big thing about it is that our tight end that's in the game is a run blocking tight end, which he did miss a block on pass protection, but for the most part, run blocking, he's in there and he's putting people on their butts. And it's the run game really is setting it up. And he's not calling plays that Heinicke can't throw. He's not calling that deep out anymore. They didn't throw one deep out today. He threw stuff that Heinicke could actually make the play. And for the first time all year, we had a read option play. And Heinicke kept the ball and was wide freaking open. And he probably could have got another 15 yards on it if he had wanted to. But I think it was a smartly called offensive game. As far as defense goes, I think that us having just normal stay-at-home guys as defensive ends really benefits us. They're playing 90% zone at least, and they're just daring the team because they didn't even throw the ball long on us. It was all short dump-off passes, make the tackle. And my man Cameron Curl is all world today after those stops and that big 4th down stop 1v1 on Christian McCaffrey. That's huge. That's an all-pro play right there. Cam Curl, he's playing the game right there. I mean, he was a beast. He was coming up, making tackles. He wasn't missing any. Even taking out Cam, and Cam's a big man. I've met Cam before. Cam is a big man, and he's for real. And I think we only had one guy off the practice squad come up and bid on that inside, and Cam got a big touchdown on it. But after that, our defensive line did their jobs. Holcomb's not a very good linebacker, even in zone. He doesn't drop deep enough, and we still have that weakness. But Jamin Davis was in there doing good, and Cam Curl's all world. There you go, defense solved.
Phil, I'm going to piggyback on that real quick of what you said on the first half. And with Taylor, I like how he was sliding, simply sliding. Devin, I want to go to the defensive side real quick, and I could be dead wrong, But is it a coincidence maybe that Del Rio is having to work smarter because two of our first round D linemen are now out, at least for this game and last game? Do you see that as a difference?
I personally, in his mind last week when they were out, he felt like he had to send more blitzes. But by him doing that, he realized that that's what this defense benefits from blitzing and staying home. And honestly, throughout the game, the beginning of the game, defensive ends that were in there for Chase Young and Montez Sweat weren't doing that hot. But further in the game, they were doing better. They were getting and holding the edge. When you're facing a quarterback like Cam Newton, you got to hold the edge. And piggyback off of Phil, Cam Curls, past 2 games, been all over the field and not missing tackles. And that's what you need. He, in my opinion, can be the leader of this defense.
And y'all might not know this answer, but what do you think the team or Rivera has learned in the past 8 days, aka the past 2 games?
Well, I don't think they're smart enough to learn anything if you want the truth about it. But I think what I've seen is that without the name players out there freelancing, and we found out some things, on the backside that Young and Sweat, they do their own thing. They come out there and they'll change sides of the field, not because the coaches tell them to, but just because they feel like it. They'll line up different places just because they feel like it. Neither one of those guys are playing within the framework of the defense. That defense is a zone defense. I think we've learned that we are starting, now that we've moved Landon Collins down into the box, we have 10 guys out on the field that can play zone. Jackson cannot. Carolina went after him and killed him. But we ran 1 or 2 plays man defense, and when we run man, Jackson can cover man. He's a great man corner. He can't play zone worth anything. So that was a bad pickup, and I really fault the front office on bringing in a guy into a zone defense that can't play zone, and he just can't do it. So we need to get Juiced out there and let him play the other corner and let him play zone and let everybody else do their thing. It'd be nice if Holcomb was a little bit better. But our D-line can push the pocket, get them to push up the middle, get the pocket done. Everybody stay at home. Everybody contain, come up, make the tackle. And Cam Curl's the guy that can do it.
Devin, what do you think they've learned in the past 2 games?
Biggest thing I think they've learned is to coach to their players. Instead of trying to get them to adapt to what they want, they're coaching to their players instead of sitting out there making Landon Collins play a safety spot. They put him down in the linebacker because that's where he fits in this defense instead of making someone do what they can't do. For example, William Jackson, he's not a zone corner. That's the biggest weak spot I see on our team, defensive side, and they're playing the people to what they can do instead of what they want them to do.
All right, so let's set up. Devin, you're what's the word I'm looking for? Your dreaded scenario, a night game, Seattle Seahawks next week. Phil, I'll let you start with this one. Do we have a chance for 3 in a row, or do you think reality's coming back?
We've got a chance because I don't think that the quarterback for Seattle's fully healed. And that team goes around him. I don't think he's back 100%, not even close. And if he can't do what he can do, and we stick with our zone, and if he was healthy, he'd pick that zone apart and we'd be dead in the water. We might as well not even go. But if he can't pick apart that zone and get some real throws out, I think we got a chance against Seattle.
All right, Devin, how do you think next week might play out?
Past 5 games, we've held teams under 120 yards rushing. I feel like we can hold them from rushing over 100 yards, and we get that push in the inside because their line is not the best, and he's not healthy. I feel like there's a big chance.
Well, all I know is Colt McCoy started off hot. And Phil and I have had many jokes over many years, and including last week's episode about Colt McCoy. So that's given me hope. But like Phil said, I think each week Russell is getting more and more healthy, and I think he'll be more healthy next week than he is this week. So, hey, it's a night game for a reason. I still don't understand why, but we'll take it. Like and subscribe to all of our videos, coachandcrewshow.com. Follow us on YouTube like you have been doing. We appreciate it. And all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. For Devin, Phil, and myself, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Try not to hate on the in-laws, but so much. And we'll see you again next weekend.